LEGO just released a brand new 75435 Battle on Felucia Separatist MTT set. And while yes, it is a bit overpriced as well as a bit smaller than previous iterations, it is arguably the best looking, best designed MTT we've gotten to date. And while yes, fans have been asking for that Separatist MTT for a long time, I thought how cool would it be to go ahead and take this build and recreate it into the Trade Federation MTT model. And that's what I've gone ahead and done today. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at this awesome alternate build of the Trade Federation MTT. If you're interested in building this model yourself, I have two parts lists in the description below. One is just of the reddish brown substituted parts that you can kind of order separately and modify your existing Separatist MTT with. And second, I have a full parts list of the entire set with all the reddish brown parts. So if you're interested in just bricklinking the whole build from scratch, you can do that as well. And then I of course have step-by-step PDF instructions on how to build this reddish-brown version yourself. The way it works is up until step 124, you'd follow LEGO's Separatist MTT instruction manual, and from that point, you would jump over to my instructions for the rest of the build. So again, if you're interested in either of those parts lists or the instructions, those are linked in the description and pinned comment below. Those are just Google Drive links which you can access and download those for free, so definitely enjoy those. But now let's go ahead and take a look at this Trade Federation MTT build. Here we have a look at the Trade Federation MTT. Now, this set holds a special place in my heart, specifically that 2007 MTT, which was kind of one of my first large LEGO Star Wars sets and is arguably one of the greatest LEGO Star Wars sets of all time. So when I saw this nice modern design for the MTT, I knew I had to recolor it into this Trade Federation version. Well, yes, this new Separatist MTT is amazing. I personally like this kind of modern MTT design in the Trade Federation colors just a bit more. There were a few parts that didn't exist in reddish brown, so I did have to substitute those. These parts here were very interesting, the mudguard pieces. They're only available in one set in dark brown. Other than that, they don't exist in any kind of shade of brown. So really lucky it was that kind of brand new Rocket Raccoon buildable figure, I think from about a year ago. So that's kind of where those pieces come from. But other than that, most of the pieces are pretty commonly found. With regards to the changes for this MTT build, for one, yes, I did kind of recolor the entire build mostly in that reddish brown color with those dark brown and dark bluish gray highlights. But I also made a few fun little modifications throughout the build just to make it more accurate and kind of fix some of the flaws in the original set. So we'll go ahead and take a look at those in the in-depth. Starting off, the main feature in this build, of course, is the droid rack that is able to be deployed. Same feature like the original set. You can take this knob and deploy the droid rack like such. Now, I was thinking whether or not I should go ahead and kind of modify the droid rack and add more droids, but I thought I'd go ahead and save that for another video. But yes, once again, just the same droid deployment rack system. Here we have a look at the side of the build. Once again, the main modifications here was I did kind of just modify this front section here, add a bit more tiles. We got this cool modified 4x6 tile here, which was actually seen in the 2007 MTT. So I thought that actually looked much better. I added some 2x6 tiles, kind of just tiling this whole section off a bit more, adding those dark bluish gray highlights. And I actually really do like how that's turned out, especially since there's no kind of large Separatist logo. I didn't want it to kind of look too plain or bland. Moving along to this back section, I did change it up a little bit. For one, those kind of 1x2 slopes, the 6 of them that would usually go here sadly don't exist in reddish brown. So I think just the regular 2x2 curved slopes do work quite nicely. I did kind of modify this section here, kind of added a layer of dark bluish gray plates, because I don't know, I just didn't like the kind of layers of plates that were here, as I just didn't feel it looked the best. And actually the best piece that could be used here to make a really accurate design for this portion of the build are these kind of wedge bricks here, but they sadly don't exist in reddish brown. So I actually originally did need a few of these to add here to the back, but these pieces don't exist. But as soon as LEGO makes these pieces in reddish brown, you can easily add those here for a more accurate design, and same thing here on the back. Just added some fun little details, a couple of these modified tiles throughout the build, which I think actually looks quite nice. A bit of a nicer shaping here with the wedge plates, just to kind of have that overall design. And then finally, just a couple small modifications to the top of the build as well. With regards to accessibility, it's pretty much the same. You would lift up this section here and this one here. I didn't make too many modifications to the interior. This section, I just didn't find much that I could add here. But over here, I did actually end up making clips for the blasters. So rather than just putting them into the studs, again, a very simple modification. Here's a kind of closer look at those. So once again, it's just using a 1x4 tile, 1x4 plate, and then 4 of these modified clip plates. And I think that actually looks really nice and just kind of fits in right there. So a very simple modification there. But other than that, again, not much changed in terms of the interior. Here's a look at the back of the build. Now this is where a lot of changes were made. Just some kind of cooling vent detailing which was added over here. That was sadly missing from the original build. I did go ahead and modify this section here, adding one more of those 4x6 modified tiles. I think that looked much better. And then of course where most of the work was done was here in this back section. LEGO for some reason decided to leave this entire section completely blank, and well, that's just not accurate. There's so much awesome detailing on both the Separatist and Trade Federation MTTs, so I kind of had to include that with a variety of kind of modified bar pieces, wedge plates, these kind of cool modified curved slopes, and I think that looks amazing. So this is also something you could do if you have the Separatist MTT, kind of just use these same pieces but recolor it in light bluish gray, and I think it will look great. So that was something I had to fix, and I'm really happy kind of with how that back section has turned out. And here is a look at the other side, which is again exactly identical to the previous one. One thing I do want to point out here is on the top section, these specific kind of 1x6 slopes don't exist in reddish brown. So I just used the kind of 1x6 curved slope brick, and I think actually that looks pretty good, and once again pays homage to that 2007 MTT a bit. And finally, yes, you may have noticed this already in the beginning of the video, but I did remove those ugly stud shooters and kind of replace them with the kind of accurate 2x2 tiles, which represent those hinges for this kind of front large door. It's a very easy modification, so even if you have the Separatist MTT, you can go ahead and check my instructions. Couple small part additions, subtractions, and you can easily take those ugly stud shooters out. And finally, thought we'd just do a bit of a nice comparison between the two different MTT models. Once again, you can see here on the front, while they're pretty much identical, some of those small kind of modifications, like removing the stud shooters, creating a more accurate door design, really do kind of help take this MTT to the next level. And here's a look at a side view of both of the MTTs. Both look amazing. The Separatist MTT has some awesome kind of designs with the kind of mixture of the light bluish gray and dark blue. And since the Separatist MTT didn't have that, adding kind of more of that greebling, kind of adding some cool new techniques, really do help it kind of not look too plain. And finally, here's a look at the back section. The main difference is with the door. Adding all that detailing just makes it look so much better. Same thing, kind of adding those modified tiles really does help it not look too plain, as well as some of those details on the top. But there you have it. That was a look at my alternate build of the Trade Federation MTT. Let me know what you guys thought about this build down in the comments below. If you liked it, a thumbs up would be great. Do not forget to subscribe and stay tuned for more videos coming very soon. Let me know, are you going to be building this? The instructions and the free parts list are all available in the description below. So definitely please take advantage of that. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more videos coming very soon. Happy building, and I'll see you all next time.